like synopsis. If you want to hear the whole story, I posted that video. It says, "Where is Audio Hug and Surviving a Nightmare?" So feel free to check out that video, and it explains a little bit more in detail, like what's going on, what happened. I left out a couple of things, just because this may or may not be a legal matter. And even though my face is cut out of the video, I'm just trying to be extra careful in how I present things. So, yeah. So I'm just like giving as much information, and trying to tell a complete story, but still leaving out a couple of pieces that I just don't want to, if it went to court, I just don't want it out there, So, yeah, but anyways, so the short of it is that, my neighbor next door has been extremely, aggressive. They trespass on my property, they constantly damage my property, they park on my property, they leave tire marks in my property, they have threatened me, they have, given out my personal information to probably half the town. She has undergone a smear campaign all over the local mom and dad's group, telling complete untrue things about me and my character, and just like a lot of storytelling, all because she was running an illegal business out of her backyard. And again, I reiterate, I could care less if someone is running a business out of their home. That's not my business. I only care when it's affecting me in a really negative way. This is my home, and I'm entitled to peace and privacy, at least to some extent. And she was running a business. We share a driveway, okay? We live on a flag lot, so it's like this long private road, and it splits off into both of our properties. And where I live, it is very expensive. It is a huge property. We have an acre and a half. We bought this property specifically for privacy, like private road, lot of acreage for privacy. And it was never disclosed to us that she was running a business, a very noisy business in our backyard. And I'm not going to say what the business is, but it involves children. And we are talking about 200 or more families driving up and down our road. That I own the road, by the way. And the reason why that matters is because I'm responsible for the wear and tear. So if there's damage, or if there's an accident or anything like that happens, I'm responsible. So she was having like 200 families drive up and down and parking in my property. I'd, wake up in the morning and get out and go to my car, and there would be like children having their diapers changed out of her trunk, out of the parents' trunks in my driveway, like on my property. I tried to talk to her about it. I'm like, look, I don't care what you're doing back there, but just like tone it down, keep it off my property. And anytime I complained to her, she would double down. And then there would be more cars on my property, and she would advertise more, and just growing this business became out of control. So finally, I called the town, and go ahead and judge me for that. That's not something I'd ever thought I'd do, but if you were in my situation, I would guess like 90% of you would do the same thing. Screaming children. And by the way, her business ran from 9 in the morning to 6 p.m. every day. And cars coming in and out of my driveway, blocking me in from being able to leave my house. I mean, it was extreme. So when the town came and shut her down because her business was completely illegal, no insurance, no LLC, no place to write a review, like nothing. I don't know how anybody in their right mind would have dropped their kids off for services with Jerry Springer stuff. It was so disgusting. So then, as a result of all of our smear campaigns, I started to get like death threats, phone calls, harassing messages on my Facebook from like people that I have no idea who they are. So I don't know if it was like our family members or just like a group of people in the community that are just like kind of, you know, I hate to use this word, but like dirtbags, you know, like conspiracy theorists. Like you believe some crazy story and then you go out and try and harm that person. I got bad reviews on my business page from my old photography business that I had that's been closed for years. They weren't clients of mine. They were people, I guess, that knew my neighbor or were clients of hers. I don't know. It just got so out of control. Like, I still, like, this happened last July, and my head is still spinning as to, like what happened, you know? So let me give you a couple of updates. Some of the updates started from, November. So, no, sorry, October. So it was like 3 months after everything happened, things were starting to die down. Not me though, like I was like traumatized, so like I was dealing with anxiety and sleepless nights, and like honestly I was afraid in my own home because she had put out my address all over the internet, like my name, my phone number, my address. This is why I have a lawyer, obviously. So but then in October, out of nowhere, I get a knock on the door, and it is her 4-year-old daughter. Sorry about that. I had to pause the video for a second because Dakota had walked in. She's over there, and I had to get like a little rug for her to lay down on because she likes to be with me sometimes when I film. I feel like she gets lonely by herself in the other room, so I'm gonna shift over a little bit so you guys can see her because she's just too cute. But anyways, so her 4-year-old daughter knocks on the door, you know, just 3 months after, like, she accused me of being, like, someone that, like, videotapes her kids and all of these crazy things. If I'm truly this, like, crazy psychopath that she claimed to be, you know, me to be all over social media, why in the world would she send her 4-year-old daughter over? So her daughter's at the door with a cupcake. Oh. She said, it's my birthday next weekend, and I'm making cupcakes, and I made this one for your daughter. And of course, I was very nice to her daughter because it has nothing to do with her kids, you know. So I was like, oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. Happy birthday. Blah, blah, blah. And then she went on her merry way, and I closed the door. And my daughter walks in the room, and she's like, what was that about? I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't even believe you. Like, you just can't make this up. Like, she just went from destroying my life, trespassing on my property, ruining my peace and privacy, doing a smear campaign, spreading out my name, number, and address for people in the community, along with lies, to encourage other people to do harm to me and my family. And now she's sending her 4-year-old over with a cupcake. So of course, you know, I took it for entertainment value, and like I spoke to friends and my neighbors and other people. I told them what happened. We all had a good hard laugh about it because, like, clearly my next door neighbor's like off, you know, like really seriously off. I don't know what her motivation was, because then I was on my Instagram and I forgot that I had been following her on Instagram back, like when I first moved in and we were friendly. And I've since blocked her, and she's blocked, of course, on my Facebook, along with like everyone she knows, because, you know, obviously I don't want any contact with her or herself, you know, because a lot of the lies that she's saying were contradictory. Like, she would say one thing and then another thing would contradict the first thing that she said. So, like, it was starting to be very, very clear to other people that she was kind of, you know, disgruntled and not right and making things up. Because, so, a week after that video, so I saw the video, I blocked her because I don't want to see these things because they upset me. Even though I know it's ridiculous, it's still upsetting because someone's putting out misinformation about me and my character to people that don't know me. So, like, people are gonna believe it, you know. There's gonna be some people that will just believe it. Yeah. So that kind of is a bummer. So I blocked her, and then a week after that, she has a party, like a birthday party for her 4-year-old at her house, which is great, okay? And then, like, a day after the birthday party, I get another knock on the door, and it's her 4-year-old. Very cute girl, by the way. Sorry, that's Dakota snoring in the background. She can get loud. Yeah, so the knock at the door again, and this time it's a goodie bag and a piece of cake. So I'm like, what? I mean, you just did a complete rant on social media, telling more lies and like horrible stories and name calling and like all this stuff on social media. And now a week later, now you're bringing over a goodie bag and a slice of cake for my daughter. What? Like, mind blown. Like, what is happening? Like, so of course, like, you know, and I bring up my neighbors. I mean, I talk to friends about it too, but I bring up my neighbors because, like, they're here, they live here, so they see the behavior, which is quite validating, because if I was in this alone without any support, I would be definitely going crazy, because this is like the ultimate gaslighting, like making me feel absolutely insane. So, like, we're just all coming up with these different theories as to, like, what her motivation is. Like, why are you trying to be so nice to my face? Trying to, like, I don't know, unless you're trying to poison us. Like, obviously, by the way, we threw out the cupcake and the cake. There's no way in hell I'd let my daughter eat anything from these people, because God knows, because I'm sure it was like poisoned. I mean, probably not. I don't think that she's that diabolical, but I wouldn't take a chance, obviously. So that went all in the garbage. Dakota, she's so loud, that little thing. Sure can snore loud. My little cutie over there. Anyway, so yeah. So that was that. So then fast forward to like a few months later, I guess it was like February, and out of nowhere, I get a text that says, from my neighbor, and it says, hey, there's been a lot of miscommunication between the two of us. I'd really like it if we can sit down and talk. So listen, guys, I didn't respond to that text at all. No, she got no response. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, you should talk to her, try and mediate, work it out. And of course, that is what I want to do. Of course, I want everything to be good and to work it out. But understand that we're coming on now, like the 3rd year that I've been living in this house. Well, this summer will be my 3rd summer here. And we've tried to work things out. I've tried to talk to her, and every conversation I've ever had with her has been taken, twisted, stretched, and then out on the other end, a complete to some extent. I'm really kind of telling you everything, but the point is, how would I trust that? Because if she had like texted me saying like, look, I'm so sorry, what my reaction, I went way too far, I know what I did wrong, and I really would like to work something out, you know, you hurt me too, we hurt each other, but there was no accountability at all. It was just a misunderstanding. What's the misunderstanding? What did I misunderstand? Did I misunderstand the fact that you gave my personal information out to the entire public? Was that a misunderstanding? Because I saw it on the internet all over the place. I saw the things that you posted, I saw the names that you called me, and I read the lies that you posted, and all the ways you've lied to your clients about me, about your own business. There's no trust. So I'm not doing that again. So no, she gets no response. There's no resolution to crazy. You cannot mediate with a sociopath, and while I am not a doctor, I have to do some kind of diagnostics on this because to protect myself, I am dealing with somebody, another like narcissistic sociopath, I don't know what, but somebody that has no empathy, no concept of what's right or wrong, a sense of entitlement to my property on a regular basis without being able to hear and understand that that's not okay during very calm and kind conversations like, hey, you can't park on my property, you know, I'm renovating. She's like, I'm not dealing with like a high functioning person. I'm just not. I don't know what I'm dealing with, to be honest, but I don't want to have a conversation to hash it out. So I didn't respond. So I'm thinking that maybe she might want to make amends a little bit because where we live, again, it's a lot of property, and the kids, the other neighbors, and my daughter and the other kids are always playing outside, like every day, every nice day. You hear the sounds of kids playing and just normalcy, and it's so nice. And then there's them, you know, it's the woman, her boyfriend, and their two kids, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they keep to themselves. We don't invite them over because, I mean, they're not very nice. I mean, we're kind of scared of them, to be honest, you know. And I think she sees it and feels left out, and maybe that's why she's trying to make up. Some people are saying that she wants to start up her business again and maybe work something out, so maybe that's why she's being nice and trying to make up. I don't know, but I don't think that she's trying to be nice, because if you're sending your kids over with cupcakes, or one kid, or older kid, with cupcakes for my daughter to try and extend an olive branch, but then you're still posting really mean and untrue things about me, why in the world am I going to talk to you and work it out? Under what world would that ever be something I would do? So it's crazy. It's just so weird. It's so uncomfortable. I'm trying to like make light of it and laugh it off and just like ignore her and like just laugh at it because I don't know what else to do. I would love to move, guys. sane anymore. I spoke to even my daughter's school because my daughter was actually spoken about. You know, they talked about her on the internet, and her diagnosis, which I think is so disgusting. Like, leave my special needs daughter out of this. How disgusting. So I spoke to like everybody. I spoke to the superintendent of the schools, which is like, you know, the person in charge of 7 schools. We're talking about like thousands and thousands of families. Spoke to the administration, the school psychologists, all of these people, and they all like, you know and understand what happened. So it kind of turned around because this girl, you know, for 90% of this town, this girl, anyone that knows the story, they all know that she's completely deranged. And then the people, I guess, maybe some of our clients believe her crazy stories, whatever, good for them. Like, have at it. I don't really care what they think. Like, if you're dumb enough to believe a woman that is running an illegal business with no insurance, nothing, you're gonna believe all of the crazy lies that she's the victim and I'm actually the bad guy, you know? I'm okay with that. Like, go ahead and believe whatever you want. I really don't care. But the people that actually know me personally believe me and, you know, see what's happening